In mathematics, an odd number is just a number. But in biology, it can become a system error, a firewall that nature builds to protect itself. A creature stronger than its horse parent, tougher than its donkey parent, yet unable to leave offspring. The mule, a hybrid between a horse, 2n equals 64, and a donkey, 2n equals 62, exists as a paradox, a near-perfect fusion of two genetic systems that ultimately becomes a dead end for both. Every mule's birth is a tiny statistical success in the puzzle of DNA assembly. Yet the moment that life forms, the biological algorithm seems to freeze itself. The question arises, why does nature allow the creation of such an extraordinary organism, only to deny it reproduction? Horses carry 64 chromosomes. Donkeys carry 62. When these two worlds intersect, a mule inherits 32 chromosomes from its mother and 31 from its father, a total of 63. An odd number that cannot be evenly divided. In sexually reproducing species, life depends on symmetry. Each chromosome must have a homologous partner during cell division. The set of 63 breaks that order, like an extra gear jamming an entire mechanism. If you could zoom into the DNA structure within a mule's cell nucleus, you would see half of the genome waiting for partners that never arrive. During each reproductive cell cycle, horse and donkey chromosomes attempt to align, but differences in length, base sequences, and centromere regions prevent precise matching. The result is misaligned daughter cells or early cellular failure. Nature, it seems, never allows a half-horse, half-donkey organism to achieve the perfect symmetry of its parents. Life replicates through a complex process called meiosis. In this process, each chromosome must pair with its homologue and exchange genetic material, a refined mechanism that generates biological diversity. But in mules, the system hangs. The 63rd chromosome has no partner. It stands isolated in the genetic landscape like a corrupted line of code that halts an entire program. When the cell's control center detects this pairing failure, meiosis stops, no viable gametes form. No functional sperm or eggs exist. In biological terms, this is a logic gate failure. One incorrect condition shuts down the entire reproductive circuit. A mule's body remains healthy, hardworking, intelligent, and responsive. Yet deep within its cells, the genetic system is permanently locked. Life continues to operate. It simply cannot continue forward. If infertility is an error, why are mules so strong and intelligent? The answer lies in hybrid vigor, or heterosis, another paradox of biology. When two distinct gene pools combine, many hidden weaknesses cancel each other out, while advantageous traits amplify. Horses contribute dense musculature and speed. Donkeys provide heat tolerance, energy efficiency, and disease resistance. The result is an ideal working animal, but one that carries no long-term genetic cost through reproduction. From a physical perspective, this represents a temporary reduction in entropy, a state where energy and order are maximized within the body, at the expense of genetic balance. Nature trades long-term continuity for short-term efficiency, like a finely tuned engine that performs perfectly yet cannot be repaired. The mule embodies the rule of temporary optimization. What seems most perfect is often the most fragile.
Resilient and efficient, the Spanish
History
donkey thrives
records
in this
female
sun-drenched,
mules
arid
capable
landscape,
of
showing
reproduction
incredible
known as
heat
Molly.
tolerance.
But this is not a miracle. It is an extremely rare statistical anomaly, estimated at roughly 1 in a billion. For such an event to occur, chromosomes must rearrange themselves with near-perfect precision, producing a gamete compatible with either a horse or a donkey.
It
resembles a Monte
metaphor,
Carlo algorithm running billions of iterations before discovering a single viable solution. When these rare cases appear, biologists are astonished, but nature is not. Even if a Molly reproduces, subsequent hybrids often fall back into sterility. Evolution allows the anomaly but prevents it from becoming a pattern. The mule's infertility is not a failure. It is nature's safety lock within evolution. If hybrids could reproduce freely, genetic boundaries would dissolve. independent evolutionary paths would merge, and natural selection would lose direction. Nature permits experimentation, but it secures the results. The mule is the product of a bold experiment
It's completely
and,
reorganized.
at the same
This changes
time,
everything.
evidence of life's self-protective mechanisms. Stability matters more than expansion. When we look at a mule, we do not just see a half-horse, half-donkey creature. We glimpse the deeper logic of life itself, where every error becomes a form of security. A biological program without safeguards would collapse under its own perfection. In an era when humans rewrite genes, redesign life, and blur species boundaries, the mule's story becomes
Genetic
a
boundaries
reminder.
maintained.
Not
Species
everything
lines
that can
remaining distinct.
exist should continue. Life from genes to ecosystems operates like an algorithm with built-in locks, where anomalies are not erased but preserved as protective barriers. The mule is one of those barriers. It stands as a symbol of intentional perfection, strong, intelligent, loyal yet finite. A creature designed to exist fully in the present, without leaving a genetic future. And perhaps that is what makes it immortal in nature's memory.